Hello people of Defend the House, my name is Joe and welcome back to another one of these vlog announcement talky videos. I've changed the format of these videos. As you can see, I used to do kind of a traditional YouTube vlog where I would just sit in front of a camera, but I figured that that's kind of pushing away from the content that Defend the House makes. This is a gaming channel, so I just thought, hey, I'll just put some gaming footage on top of this announcement instead. Today I'm going to be talking about the Patreon for Defend the House and how I want to focus on making the Patreon something really great. I've been thinking about the Patreon a lot recently, and because Defend the House is a channel which doesn't upload very often, and when we do upload, the videos are mostly very short, I think focusing on building a channel around ad revenue is not going to be very beneficial towards the channel in the future. I'm a big fan of quality over quantity YouTube channels. I watch a lot of NoClip, Red Letter Media, Nerdwriter, Game Maker's Toolkit, and these people have built their channel around a great Patreon page, and this is the main way that these channels support themselves. So my main mission over this last month has been to make the Patreon really awesome and much better than it currently is. So I've made a bunch of changes. The Defend the House Patreon has 3 tiers starting with $2. The $2 tier comes with the Defend the House Spotify playlist, which currently has 130 songs on it. And on the $2 tier, you also get access to an update blog type thing where we post all the myths that are coming up, all the future ideas and projects we're going to be working on, the music that we'll be using. Like, for example, the BattleBots Overwatch video was announced on the Patreon in November, I think, or December. And it was uploaded on the YouTube channel in February. And I've also been teasing a new video idea / format that I'm going to be experimenting with in the future on the Patreon. So the Patreon blog is just full of me brainstorming, coming up with new possible ideas, talking about the progress of those ideas, and also giving you guys an early glimpse at the upcoming myth videos. Next up is the $5 tier, which is going to give you 2 weeks early access to each episode of the Behind the Myths video series. I've actually put the Behind the Myths for Battlefield Volume 10 up on Patreon as public, so you guys can go over to the Patreon page right now and see that video if you so wish. But for the future, Behind the Myth episodes are going to be available 2 weeks earlier for Patreon pledges. But also in the $5 tier, you get exclusive access to the newly launched Defend the Podcast. The first episode of Defend the Podcast is available publicly on our Patreon page right now. You do not have to be a pledge. It is available to anyone who clicks on the post that will be in the description below. So you can go down below, check out the podcast, and see if it's something that you guys would enjoy. In the first episode, me, Jameson, and Ben talk about review scores, we talk about Zelda, the Switch, and Mass Effect Andromeda. For the people who enjoy mine and Jameson's long talky videos, a podcast has always been quite a long requested thing that we do, and since we don't want to upload too many talky videos to the Defend the House YouTube channel, we thought making it an exclusive Patreon reward would be a good idea. And for the $5 tier, you get your name credited at the end of the main Defend the House YouTube videos. And lastly, $10 is early access to videos. If you pledge $10, you will get all the videos before anyone else, and usually I like to upload a draft version of the final video. And if I upload an early draft, people can kind of see the changes that get made for the final version, and I think it's kind of fun to see the process behind the editing when it comes to our videos. And also your credit name will be gold. But if you don't care and you don't want to pledge, the regular Defend the House content that you guys know is going to keep coming. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying what I have been uploading recently. You guys seem to be receiving it very well, so I'm happy with the way things are going, and we have many plans for the future. But that is all I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. I would really appreciate it if you just checked out the Patreon down below. There is a podcast there and an episode of Behind the Myths free for anyone who visits there. Thank you guys very much for listening, and goodbye.